video I did was an unboxing video of the YUGO M70 B-1 with black synthetic furniture, polymer stock. And I just want to follow up on that video on some of the modifications that have taken place since I purchased it, as well as some of my observations and experiences with it. And excited about getting the gun. My intention with it was to do a few modifications to it, but generally to leave it alone. And the key is the buttstock. This one came with the with the black synthetic polymer furniture, and basically if you look at it, it's solid, which is one of the reasons I liked it, because if you needed to butt stroke your neighbor's cat or something in an emergency, this thing looks like it would stand up to it. Big solid screw that attaches it to the rear of the receiver. But if you look at it, and basically along the comb here, it's essentially the size and hardness of an axe handle. And I just found that every time I lined it up to where I really got a good sight picture was exactly where it was kicking up on the cheek. So basically after about a 45-minute, hour session of trying to shoot this thing with the original buttstock on it, I just abandoned it. I left there with a golf ball size welt on the side of my face from the recoil on this thing. So the rumors or information that you might find out there about the M70s having a cheek slap to them, depending on the buttstock, is probably something you might want to consider. I did hit this with a little padding, put a little athletic tape around it, but eventually I just kind of gave up on this. I couldn't get accustomed to the cheek slap of it. I had read that if you put your cheek forward of this little hump here, that you'd be okay, but I just found the thing slapping me regardless of where I tried to line it up. So I had mentioned some of the changes I was planning to make to the YUGO M70 B-1 in the prior unboxing video, but I wanted to just go ahead and do an update on what I've done with it since then. Some of it according to plan, some of it not, with the cheek slapping incident. But I wanted to show you what it looked like now. And I'd like to run through its current configuration with you and just kind of let you know what I did. So obviously to solve the cheek slap issue, what you're looking at here is the TAPCO collapsible buttstock that we put on here. It actually it's one of the few basically plug and play options for the M70s. It just bolted right in there. I'm actually pretty happy with it. Again, it is TAPCO, but there's always the possibility of upgrading that at a later date, and it makes the platform much more user-friendly and much more shootable. Just putting this TAPCO, it just basically eliminates any cheek slap that I might have experienced in the first outing with it. And to continue on, the other modifications that I made, you're looking at a Magpul pistol grip here. Just those two changes alone, the buttstock and the pistol grip, made this thing feel significantly lighter and more well balanced. This is a thick AK platform. It's got the bulged receiver. If you're familiar with the M70 AB2, and in this case the B1, and it's basically the same. The difference is the AB2 is the underfolder, and this has some sort of a stock affixed to it, whether it be a wood buttstock, polymer, or some adaptation as you see here. And again, that can be upgraded at a later date. But again, I'm very happy with this TAPCO addition here. It just makes it a lot more user-friendly again, as well as the Magpul. Very happy with that as well. The main modification I was looking to make to this was the Texas weapon system dust cover rail. I don't know how well that shows up on. Do a little close-up here. Texas weapon system dust cover rail. Now this was definitely by far the most expensive modification that I've made to this at this point. On forward, I am very happy with this. I did follow a video on YouTube as to how to install it. One thing they left out was on the video was reinstalling the spring that's taken out of the rear sight. Anyway, I did follow the video. I did not install the rear spring. It seems to function either way, but they do recommend putting that spring back in the instructions that come with the dust cover rail. Really, moving forward, that's the only modifications that have been made, with the exception of the handguards. These are Hogue handguards. We put them on. Really like them. They do have a pretty substantial heat shield in there. I'm assuming that the heat shield in there looks like it would do a pretty good job. Looks pretty substantial. It is bulged along the bottom here. And it seems, for my stature and my grip preferences, it's bulged in exactly the right place. It's just perfect for the way I typically would handle the rifle. It does come with rails, On the downside, these are plastic. It does have a bottom rail, which I don't have on here. Mahog, but it is suitable for mounting a non-tactical flashlight, as you see here. Leather sling the only last thing Centerfire Systems had them for $5 for $10, and I went ahead and pulled the trigger on that. Difficult to install. It just doesn't look like the dimensions really line up to be able to pull the sling through. I actually had to smash this down with a wrench to get it through there, and in doing that I think I've compromised the integrity of it, but I've got 4 more to go with my $10 investment, and should be okay on that. But additionally, the Texas AK design PEEP sight that is designed for this particular rail system, and a few, quick comment on that is it does look like it's a larger aperture. I'm assuming that it may be difficult to make really accurate shots with this rear sight from a longer distance. I was just in a YUGO state of mind tonight, and I wanted to share that information on the M70 B-1 update. Again, this is what it looks like, and but overall, extremely pleased with this. Solid quality AK, actually just at $500 and some change when I purchased it, and the prices appear to be holding on that. None of the upgrades that I did, again, with the exception of the rail system, were over $50. Basically, this is what I have. It just looks incredible. This looks like something out of a movie or out of a science fiction novel. But again, very solid, simple, solid, reliable AK platform for a very reasonable price. We're talking about a lot of bang for the budget. So I hope that my fellow YUGO enthusiasts, or soon-to-be YUGO enthusiasts, found this information to be helpful or interesting in some way. In future videos, I want you to stay tuned for some information on some additional YUGO M70 furniture options. I found a good source for some original M70 wood furniture. It actually has a lot of character to it. It actually has what they call trench art, which is where the soldiers actually had cut their own creative artwork into the furniture itself. So I'll have a lot more information on the sources for this.